So we saw it again, like literally a week later because we couldn't stay away.
Yeah.
I'm still reading it, and I'm not even done with the book, but I've seen the movie twice.
It, the movie.
Yeah, It the movie. Yeah. We have to, that. You basically have to say It the movie or It 2017 in parentheses. Like, but both of us had weird dreams last night. You don't remember yours.
All I can really remember is being stalked and like having people stare at me.
Like It Follows.
Well, if you remember the scene in the library, and I'd kind of pointed it out, that when Ben's reading the book, if you look behind him, there's like this old lady, and she's looking in the stacks at first, and then she turns to him, and then the next scene, she's a little closer behind him, and she's kind of making like this weird open mouth, agape face.
Yeah, and it's blurry, so you can't quite tell.
Yeah, but it's ominous.
Really creepy. Yeah,
and that's basically, I had dreams like that where I could feel people staring at me, and I would look, and they'd be looking at me like that.
When you told me to look for that the second time we watched it, like it really creeped me out.
It's really fucking creepy.
It's really creepy. It Follows is it. We recommend that movie. It's a very good movie.
Yeah, and if you're one of those guys that's like, B, not enough stuff happened, B, you fucking put your finger in your butt.
So my dream was not really anything about that.
It's the STD movie, dude.
Yeah, basically.
Sexually transmitted horror movie.
No, I had a dream that like it was like, you know how space food is like vacuum packed and like you just pull it open and you eat it.
Yeah.
I had a dream that like all food, and not just food, but everything was in like these little like disc packages. And no, it gets weirder because like I had like a backpack of them of like food or something. Apparently you like trade them around. I guess it was post-apocalyptic or something. And we were at, I think we were at Jeff's house, but it wasn't like Jeff's actual house. It was like a weird house. And Carlos had
house.
Yeah. Carlos had an RV parked outside. Carlos owned an RV, apparently.
Of course.
Carlos will eventually live in a trailer, so
full.
that's not super surprising.
Yeah, he doesn't have an actual house. That's where he lives in. And so it turns out the discs not only had food in them, but you like also put your shit in them.
Oh my God.
Like it acts as a toilet.
This is
yeah, I know.
Weird,
I told you it got weird. And
exactly
so we were all like,
how high were you when you went to sleep last night?
Reasonably. So we had all of our shit discs, and we put them in Carlos's RV to dispose of them.
Apparently, it seems like an appropriate place for them.
Apparently, Carlos gets rid of all of our shit discs for us. It was a very strange dream. Let's just play the music before it gets weird. Welcome to episode 25 of the Unreasonably Angry podcast. My name is Gary.
My name is Eric. And
I'm Jeff.
We have Jeff joining us over the power of the internet. He's down on the lower West Coast, and we're on the upper West Coast.
Or you could say Seattle and Orange County.
I don't know why I said that. Episode 25. We're a quarter of 100.
Yes, it's a
milestone, I suppose.
Quarter century.
Yeah,
exactly.
We've done this for a quarter century. Exactly.
We're due for a quarter life crisis. I wonder if your vacuum sealing had anything to do with like your virginity growing back. Like in your head, you're like you're picturing.
What does that mean?
Because you're vacuum sealing your poop?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't even know what to make of that.
I don't know.
Well, speaking of shit.
We thought of a topic for today of we had a conversation a couple nights ago about how people how much effort it takes people to be full of shit, like how much effort has to go into being a like full of shit.
Yeah, it's not just simply like, hey, you're full of shit. It's the more I live my life, the more I realize how much people are full of shit. And then when I think about it, I go, it's not that just you're full of shit, it's that you purposely make an effort to be full of shit. Like when people go out of their way, I mean, it doesn't. Whew, okay.
Uh-huh.
I know I'm going to get heated quickly.
Well, okay, so what we're talking about when someone's full of shit is like they like what would you say? Like I'm thinking like lifestyle trends where people like, you know, are always in the latest fashion trends and like always like going to the gym, whether or not they're really going to work out, they're just saying they're going to the gym.
Well, okay, that's
taking
a great
selfies.
example. That's a great example. If you go to the gym and you put makeup on to go to the gym,
Yeah.
you're full of shit.
And you spend like $100 for the gym, like your outfit that you wear to the gym.
Yes.
When really it's just going to get sweaty and like gross.
Exactly.
Like
yes.
guys, we just wear basketball shorts and like a t-shirt.
Yeah.
But women, like they'll go to like an actual like store.
Oh, and hold on.
Buy.
Really quickly, it's not just women. Because I've seen grown men that I know purposely are wearing tank tops that are contoured for their nipple to like stick out of the tank top, like off to the side where it's like a bit of it. And I'm like, dude, you're a hairy dude and there's no hair on your nipple.
Yeah.
So you're shaving your nipples to go to the gym.
Yeah.
Jeff, do you know what I'm talking about here?
Yes. Yeah. Definitely seen a lot of those guys.
I understand if you wax your shit, like if you wax your chest or wax your whatever to like make you look buff, bro, then sure, like I get it. That's already bad enough. But when you're like purposely trying to look hot to go to the gym, you're full of shit.
And,
like
yeah,
you're going to the gym.
Right, and putting so much effort into it. It's like, what? I can't imagine like spending like extra amounts of time in my life to like work on my image or like work on like how other people perceive me in public. Like I put some effort into like not looking terrible, but like I'm not gonna like keep up on the latest trends and like, you know, I agree. And the funny thing is like the dichotomy of it is like it is nice to look nice.
Yeah.
And I understand that. Like I don't know. I'm not going to speak for women. I'm not going to go down that road.
You probably are the most qualified, Gary. You're an expert on women.
I've worn makeup a bunch of times.
Jesus Christ.
And
What?
theater productions.
Oh, God. It was like on a Tuesday.
No, but like I get looking nice, but there's a line that people cross into like going and like putting so much effort into it. And it's like,
No, so it's not even just like, now I can understand if the thing is that the fashion trends and stuff like that, like, okay, like if you're somebody that's into fashion, that's something that you really into, fine.
yeah,
like,
I'm not discarding all of it.
I mean,
Yeah.
kind of are, but but my point is like, there's that difference between like, one of the things I liked about Seattle when we got here was you could tell people cared more about function than fashion, right?
Well,
like,
just not just fashion, but
Yeah.
just like appearance.
yeah, like you
Yeah.
cared more about being prepared to go out in the rain, or if you live in it. Like, I understand if you wear flip flops when it's 100 degrees all the time. I personally don't like flip flops. As an adult man, I don't feel the need to walk around with my bare feet out. I get easily grossed out by other people's bare feet, so maybe that's part of it, but it doesn't feel appropriate to go sit at a restaurant with my bare feet. It just
Yeah.
seems fucking
Yeah.
weird.
I feel like if you like live in Hawaii or like Costa Rica or something, then that's appropriate.
Yeah.
But you don't. And stop trying to think you do. Because it's disgusting. Cover your fucking nasty feet.
I mean, it's one thing just like walking outside and like on your patio, but like, yeah, going to a restaurant where people are eating.
Yeah, it was like that. I don't know if you saw that GIF that somebody posted on Twitter of this black lady was on a, well, her being black doesn't have anything to do with it, but I'm describing the scene here.
Yeah, what the hell, Eric?
This black lady's on an airplane, and then she turns the camera to the side.
Oh,
and
yeah.
up against the wall are these like this older white woman's feet like up against the thing, and they're like in her like seat area. So it's like
no.
You get a good mix of people going elbow her feet, sneeze on her feet, and then you have people going. Then you have people going, just turn around and ask her to move her feet.
Yeah.
But that's exactly my point. Like, there's just because you're on an airplane and you want to get comfortable doesn't mean you get to be a disgusting trash person.
Right. Yeah. Well, so that's like the other way. Like we were talking about people who like give a lot to their appearance, but then there are people who give like the minimal effort.
Well, no, the thing is, it's not even just an effort thing.
Like wearing pajamas in public.
Jesus Christ.
Like, what the fuck is that about? I mean, like, is the world your bedroom? What the fuck is
going to work in pajamas? That's a thing that happens.
Yeah.
Who would go to like an office?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, that's something that happens.
Okay.
I mean, in like casual work environments, it's like, oh, well, there's no dress code. Cool. Fuck it.
I guess, like, if a company doesn't have one, then I guess it's their fault that people show up in pajamas.
No. See, and then that's when, and then like, oh shit, I guess we should revise our dress code to actually include like, don't be a fucking sloven piece of shit.
Please don't show up in a stained wife beater and.
Well, think about it though. Think about like going to work and your manager comes over to talk to you. And you're in like Power Ranger pajama pants. I mean, for me, like
or a onesie.
Yeah. You know what? I actually would be more okay with the onesie than I would the pajama pants.
You know what? This is actually making me miss pajama day in school, in
exactly.
elementary school.
That's the point. In elementary
school, when you're prepubescent.
What do you mean? You didn't have ball hair in 4th grade?
What the fuck? No.
You weren't that kid in the class that was
like... That's not normal, Eric.
You're like, Gary, what's 8 times 4?
Silk boxers
32.
Yeah, we had pajama day.
Pajamas.
And did you ever have Inside Out Day?
What?
No, is that just me? Were you wearing your clothes inside out?
No, but that. Jeff and I grew up in a time where crisscross was a thing. And Crisscross was a rap group with 2 kids that were probably like 13, and they wore their clothes backwards on purpose. So that started a thing. Do you remember that, Jeff?
What's the difference between backwards and... Oh, you mean just like literally like backwards. Your shirt
What's the difference between backwards and inside out?
You're right. There is a difference. I just didn't think hard enough. I don't get the backwards. What does that have to do with anything?
Nothing.
Okay.
It's not excusable. It was the 90s.
Just makes you jump.
The daddy Mac will make you jump. But yeah, so I mean, aside from that, we talked about the people who try too hard to stay up on fashion, and we talked about this. Maybe we could tweet out a picture of the shoes that drive me fucking crazy right now.
The Birkenstocks?
No, everybody knows how I feel about Birkenstocks.
Yeah, we already talked about that.
And you finally caught a taste of it last night when we were at the movies.
Dude, I'm so
I hadn't really
pair
seen
of
it before.
Jeff, if you wear a fucking pair of Birkenstocks anywhere near me, I'm going to step on your feet.
Remember that NoFX? There's a NoFX song called Jeff Wears Birkenstocks.
Oh, God, I forgot about
that. Wow, really?
Yeah.
That's
we're gonna have to tweet that
out. No, we were at the theater yesterday, and a group of I've gotten to a point in my life where I don't like.
You have no idea how old people are?
Well, no, like it's been a while since I've been around high school kids. Like,
yeah,
like since I was a high school kid, but also like since I would like go back to high school to like see the play or something.
Yeah.
So it's been a while since I've like been around a group of kids that age.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, I was like, I half expected how they would act, but then also they would do things that I was just like, jeez, what? Was I like that?
Yes.
Like,
yes, you were.
So it's like,
I remember you then. Yes, you were.
And they were wearing like half of the girls were wearing Birkenstocks and half of them were wearing like Vans, the sneakers that you just slip into.
I can respect the Vans.
Yeah, those are fine. I own
But when
those.
you're wearing like yoga pants, like stretchy yoga pants and Birkenstocks, I mean...
Yeah.
The thing is, it's not that's the laziness that goes into going out. That's the style that they choose.
Yeah.
That's like, that's what I'm going to wear to look cute. All of me and my friends are going to look cute like this. And it's like, No.
And to be fair, this is a pretty like speaking of unreasonable anger. This is kind of unreasonable. It's like whatever. They're just
Kind
shoes.
of. This is 100% unreasonable. Yes, I
They're
fucking
just
don't care.
shoes, but like they're my grandma's shoes. Like
Yes.
I specifically remember my grandma wearing those shoes.
It's like it's because they're comfortable. You know what else is
Is that
comfortable?
wait? Is that what happens? Do fashion trends like get to older and older people and then they cycle around
Yes.
to young people?
Yes.
Yeah, dude.
That's so weird.
Okay, Jeff.
So
now
retro.
you were the last time you visited. You and I noticed a phenomenon, and I'm going to call it a phenomenon because to me it's a big deal. When you were here and you met at my office, and then we drove back out of the city. Do you remember those shoes all the women were wearing?
Oh yeah, they're like weird little like house slippers almost.
They're like Gucci.
Yeah.
Oh, you
They're-
showed me a
but
picture. Yeah.
Yeah, they just look weird. I don't know. They just look like a house slipper.
They look like something an older rich man would walk around his house
Yeah.
wearing a robe in. And these women are trudging up and down the hills in downtown Seattle in like business attire. I just don't understand A, how that's comfortable, B, how people think that looks good. And then I found a pair online at Nordstrom that were like $700.
Oh yeah.
Jeez. And we found out they were men's.
Oh, men, yeah,
Yeah.
they have men ones too.
You know what? I don't know why, but you know what pops into mind when I saw those when you showed me a picture of them?
Death, wanting to die, wanting to
Besides
give
that-
up on the
besides
earth.
that, yeah, like an omen of death. Yes. Besides that, no, it was like 80s women in pantsuits and like with like big hair in pantsuits with those on,
So
like
basically,
getting in their like I don't know what car would they be getting in.
Hillary Clinton.
Cadillac.
Yeah, Cadillac. Yeah, Hillary Clinton wearing a lime green pantsuit. Remember the Parks and Rec where
Yeah.
she wears a lime green pantsuit?
Yep.
It's like, yes, this looks exactly as bad on me as I thought it would.
Yeah, you're just describing Hillary Clinton's fashion sense.
Oh man, could you imagine Hillary Clinton wearing those slippers?
Yes, easily. I mean,
Yeah.
I already saw one video where she's like walking up and her shoes fall off. So I mean, might as well just go slippers.
Stupidest conversation. So I mean, we were talking about people being full of shit until we got into fashion trends, and how we've talked about dieting. Like
We've talked about it ad
We've talked
nauseam.
that ad nauseum. Yeah.
No, hold on a second though. But Jeff, you're still in SoCal. Now we're in Seattle, and I don't know that we're up to date with all the cool new diets.
Because LA is a different beast.
It really is a different beast. I mean, you guys are. I mean, I think like I don't really run into people that do paleo or keto or a whole lot up here, but I'm sure you probably
Yeah.
run into it a lot down there, right?
Yeah, I mean, I have friends that are doing keto right now. Like,
What is
I
what
know
is that
people that have
exactly?
done paleo in the past. I know people that are vegan or vegetarian. Some are like hardcore vegan.
What is keto?
I don't know all the details, but it's like it's like because paleo is like the caveman diet kind of thing or whatever, right?
Okay.
Like you're eating whole foods and nothing processed, or you don't eat like beans or something like that, right? And then
yeah,
keto, I think you do. What?
I'm out. I love beans.
No, exactly. Well, luckily, paleo, you can eat potatoes now, so that's good.
I kind of understand that though. I mean, like I understand no processed foods. I wouldn't do it myself because it's probably really fucking difficult to avoid them. But like
Corn, like you can't eat like grains too on paleo. So it actually
Jeez.
one of the things with paleo, I think that causes the biggest difference for people is it forces people to cook and not eat out. Like that's probably the biggest thing that improves people's lives when they're on that diet than anything else.
See, that actually, like, I can get on board with that.
yeah,
Like, that
I get
actually
that.
makes sense. Like,
Yeah.
if you make food at home, regardless of what you're eating, you're probably going to eat marginally better than if you went out and bought it from somewhere else.
Right.
Yeah, and that goes into the dichotomy I was talking about. Like everything we're talking about where people are full of shit, there's another side where it's like people are doing it to actually better their lives.
Well, that's the
Like
thing
I
is,
get that, but like it's when you're like saying like doing it so you can say that you're doing it and like making your image better or whatever.
Yeah.
No,
that's shitty.
It's my favorite. So keto is like high fat or something. Like you
What?
eat a lot of fats.
High fat?
My favorite thing is
Why?
people. I've seen people do this where they're like, they'll go get a salad. They'll just put like a bunch of spinach in a bowl and then put like a bunch of bacon on it.
Oh my
and then
God.
just like cover it in ranch dressing. And it's like, wow,
Oh my god.
that doesn't look very good. It's like,
that-
oh, it's keto, bro.
Did that start when like Matt Damon needed to fatten up after like the Bourne movies? Like, is that why that started? Like with
Right.
actors trying to get fat?
Ah, fucking hell.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is you can't question it. Like if you go, hey man, I understand you're eating salad, but you understand. Yeah, but bro, you don't understand. I've done the research. I'm like, oh Jesus Christ.
Ketosis, all right. my body just processes fats differently than you.
Oh yes. You are the 1%. Nobody's ever eaten bacon and ranch and gotten fatter.
You know what's great when people say I have the metabolism of a insert animal
Yeah.
here? Like,
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I have the metabolism of a
Fuck up.
cheetah.
I was thinking shark. I have the metabolism of a shark. Sure, you have the metabolism of an
Yeah.
animal that literally swims their entire life.
Yes.
Fucking idiot.
Let's talk about how much fucking cardio those animals are doing.
Well, that's the other
Right.
part is like you see these people that are doing it and I see them go, I want to be healthy. And I'm like, okay, so you're eating like that because you want to be healthy. Yes.
Yeah.
Do you go to the gym? Fuck no. What?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, if I eat like this, I don't have to work out. And now I go, okay, you may lose a little bit of weight, but you're not going to be healthier.
Yeah.
Your heart's not getting stronger. Your blood's not getting stronger. Your
Yeah.
muscles aren't getting stronger just because of what you're eating. You're supposed to do that in conjunction with not living a fucking lazy, just
Yeah.
shitty lifestyle.
Right.
If
Yeah.
you're eating
It's not
keto and you're fucking playing video games 12 hours a day, you're still an unhealthy piece of shit.
Well, it's the same thing for people who are overweight who expect to get thinner just by eating differently.
Well, no, you will get thinner, but you're not going to get
Yeah.
healthier.
Yeah.
You're going to get
Right.
less unhealthy,
Right.
but you're not going to like
Right.
improve your body's like physical shit unless you put effort in.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
nobody wants to do that. Everybody wants the fucking easy way out.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it's
whatever
hard,
in the
dude.
world have we ever improved by not working at it?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Dumbasses. Bunch of punts.
You mean like shoveling pork rinds into my mouth in front of the TV is not the path to a healthy life?
Bro, it's a 12-ounce bag. I'm
But-
doing 12-ounce
Yeah,
lists.
but that's
pork
keto, bro.
rinds.
I'm intermittent fasting. All right, I only eat 2 pounds of pork rinds between 5 p.m. and 8 p.m. All right.
Oh, that's the other thing. The little bit.
Training my body.
I remember in health class, like in high school, like where they're like talking about dieting, and they're like, fasting is not a diet.
It's not.
Like don't do
No.
it.
No.
Like your body is not made to not eat.
No.
Like I don't understand that, but
Yeah, let's not promote anorexia. Like, it's
Yeah.
just, hey, I didn't
Yeah.
eat for 4
I think
hours
that
and
was
I feel
probably the point
lighter.
there.
yeah. Anyway, we won't.
Well, one of the other conversations that I've had, and I've had this conversation with Jeff, I've had this conversation with you. I think one of the things that's actually bothering me, and this is actually more of a serious topic, is we're in a time right now where everybody loves to say, especially when it comes to like political conversations, I want to have a conversation. I want to discuss. I want to understand. Or they say things like, I love everyone. Everybody needs to be accepting of each other. Unless you don't think the way I think.
Well, going
This
into
terrible
any
thing that happened is great because it starts the conversation of getting better. Like,
going into
fuck you.
going into any issue saying we all need to be accepting is just like setting up for failure, because like not everyone is going to accept everyone else's views.
No, that's the thing
impossible.
And really what it goes down to is we need to be accepting of everybody except the people I don't agree with, which is fucking defeating your purpose entirely. Like
Well,
you're
yeah.
already full of shit.
Yeah.
Like you can't.
People who point out hypocritical people are probably hypocrites.
Well, then I'm definitely a hypocrite.
Well, no, we all are, and we all are to an extent. And it's annoying that people don't realize and accept that. Like,
and that's the thing
it's
is,
fine to like. It's okay to be a hypocrite. Like,
No, yeah.
that's how you learn. Like,
Absolutely. The first thing you need to do when you wake up and you go, man, that thing pisses me off, is go, wait, do I do that thing?
Yeah.
And that's it. I mean,
That's how you make the world a better place.
yes. Yes. As long as you can realize, hey, you know what? I do some pretty fucking annoying shit. For example, this podcast, I say fucking dumb shit about dumb shit.
Oh yeah, I'm on a pedo diet, by the way. I didn't tell you guys.
You know what?
I'm on a pedo diet, just so you know.
A pedo diet?
What is it?
What? I don't think you understand what we're saying.
Yeah.
What was it?
Pedo.
It's not pedo.
Not pedo.
What's...
You're like you're on the start of a trailhead into a very dark place.
Oh, it's keto.
It's a K. It's not a
What was the one that started with a P?
Paleo.
I'm on a paleo diet.
Gary's definitely not a pedo. Okay. Definitely not a pedo.
I'm on a disc food and shit disc diet.
Yes, disc food and disc shit.
Discs
Well, I mean,
in
it's
and
not hard.
discs out.
It's not hard to imagine that when like our grandchildren are living on Mars, that they're eating like little disc food, right? That's not hard to imagine. Maybe my brain like had a prophecy of it.
You just need to insert crickets right there.
I don't.
All right.
Jesus. But back to what I was saying.
I don't even know what we're talking about anymore.
Oh, dude, we've fucking derailed like 3 times.
I'm gonna have to put that quote next to a pedo bear on our Twitter now.
Oh God, Jesus Christ!
Oh, Jesus.
You mean a pedo bear?
Don't put a pedo bear on your fucking
Yeah,
Twitter.
don't do that. But one of the things that I've noticed, and somebody brought this up on social media or something later this week, and I'm not gonna like get too deep into this, but we talk a lot about like love. Everybody likes to say love will get us through. Love will get us through. True. But if you're hating someone who you feel is hateful, that's not love. Hate plus hate does not equal love. Like, you're still being hateful in return.
Yeah.
And so if you're spending your life going around telling people how accepting you are and virtue signaling and all that shit about how you love everyone regardless of their blah, 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 and then you treat people hatefully because you don't like their point of view, you're not rising above anything. You're just as full of shit as they are.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, I love how easily people love to throw the word Nazi around right now. Like, it's a really fucking fun word for people, which really, in my heart of hearts, I actually think is really fucked up because it kind of like dilutes what actually happened with actual Nazis.
It's true.
Like, somebody saying shit you don't like and being intolerant of other people is not the same as the sacrifice and tragedy that the Jews went through during the Holocaust.
Yeah.
So let's really fucking pump the brakes on that shit. But people love to go call somebody a Nazi, right? They love to go, you're this. So you're using the word Nazi to describe someone who's intolerant of your views or intolerant of gays or transgender or whatever. Now, if you're intolerant of someone that doesn't have the same opinion you do, regardless of them being correct or incorrect, aren't you still being intolerant? Shouldn't you take the time to like have a conversation? If you're wanting people to change their point of views, screaming at them how they're Nazis is not the way for them to listen to you and get to your place of understanding.
Well, it goes back to what you were saying about it. Just it's not easy.
It's
like,
not.
It's not easy to talk to someone who like is like racist.
No, of course not.
Because it's hard to understand for anyone who's not racist. It's like, why would I don't understand why you hate people.
Exactly. But that's the point. It was the civil rights movement wasn't easy.
Yeah.
Right? Defeating slavery wasn't easy.
Right.
Defeating the Holocaust wasn't easy.
Right.
So to expect now in a period where people should already be past that, like we really should be past the idea that someone's a different color than you or a different religion than you is just lesser than you. Like the fact that we're not past that is pretty sad to begin with.
Frustrating.
But if we're expecting to get to that next place and have it be easy, then we haven't been paying attention to history.
Well,
it's going to take difficult conversations. It's going to take putting ourselves in positions where we're going to be upset, where somebody's going to try to hurt our feelings. Now, if you come into it with hey, I'm going to educate you, I'm going to help you be smarter,
right,
and you talk to them condescendingly, nobody's going to listen. If you're screaming from the mountaintops, you're a Nazi, you're a Nazi, you're a Nazi, people are immediately going to stop listening to you. But if you stop and go, hey, you know what? I want to understand why the way you are, if you're open to it. I want to explain to you my experience that got to me where I am. Can we have an honest discussion? Somebody said recently it's really easy to trigger a college student, right? It's really easy to say something inflammatory to get a rise out of someone else. Like, people do that all the time. What's difficult to do is to sit and have an honest, intelligent conversation where you make progress. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you think about what...
It's a rarity.
But that shouldn't be.
I know, but
and that's the upsetting part is you have this... You have the... I'm not saying... Obviously, racism is wrong. Sexism is wrong. A lot of those phobias are wrong. I'm not trying to like make light of those things.
Yeah, but people aren't just going to like stop thinking that stuff overnight.
Exactly.
Like,
and so if you are on the side that says, hey, we're right. Hey, we need to be past this. Hey, we can't allow this to continue to happen. Then you need to be this side that's willing to put in the effort to make that gap, to bridge the gap between where you are and where they are.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, the people that you think are stupid, the people that you think are lesser than you are just, their opinions are being wound up in what you're saying. You're you're galvanizing their views of how you view them.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Nah.
It's sometimes like you get to like a topic where you just like you uncover like it just comes out like diarrhea. I'm not discounting. Wow. I'm not discounting what you said. I'm not discounting what you said. I just mean like when you hit it. Sometimes when you hit a nerve, like it really gets you going. And that's kind of what this podcast is about. Like
comes out like diarrhea.
Well, I apologize.
I think what Gary is trying to say.
I didn't mean the content of what you were saying. I mean the way that it came out.
You hit a topic, like, and we all do this, where you hit this topic where it's like you genuinely care about that topic and you have a lot to say about that topic, and it all just kind of comes out like diarrhea.
Right, that's what I meant.
It's not that the stuff coming out is chunks of shit.
Ever.
Right, that's
thanks. Well, so fucking elaborate on what I'm saying then. Like, touch on what I'm saying. Do you agree with what I'm saying? Do you feel that I'm off base here?
Jeff,
go ahead, Gary.
No, you go, Jeff. Fuck Gary.
Fuck you, Jeff.
Okay. So, like, on this topic, there's been a couple things that have come up recently, in the industry that I work in, inclusion and all of the stuff, not specifically like the Nazi stuff, but I think that all kind of fuels it, right? Like, with what is happening socially in the country fuels the different industries and like the direction that they're going, with as far as like,
because we're all people, and what you're experiencing in the world, you can try to disconnect it when you come to work, but it doesn't work that way because we're still people at work.
Right. So one of the things that I was having a discussion about this topic of like, well, how do we get better at this, right? And one of the things that somebody brought up
was this the 4-hour meeting you were in?
No, no. One of the things that somebody brought up during this conversation was like, I am part of the majority. I'm a white male, so I'm a part of the majority. And they weren't like telling me this, like, oh, you can't, or whatever. It's just like, I accept that that's what I am, right?
Yeah.
Obviously. You have to accept that you can't understand the perception of minorities, and so you have to basically kind of create an environment where those topics can be voiced. So because you haven't lived their lives, you don't know everything that they've gone through, you don't know like day to day what they're dealing with, and the spot that these people are put in, and it's not their fault, it's what they were given. Right. And and I feel like a lot of people don't really understand that or want, it's something that just people don't get, is like, you can't really understand what these other people have gone through. And part of trying to understand that is just listening to them and being open to hearing what they have to say.
Well, the issue is it's just so easy to choose not to believe like that they basically have completely different lives because they're a minority. Like, it's so easy to just dismiss that when you're the one who hasn't gone through it. Like
Well, you project like we've talked about this before, you project like your experiences onto situations that you either see or hear about or whatever. It's like you kind of project your bias on that situation. It's like, well, obviously they would have had every opportunity or whatever, and I like, I've done that before where it's just like, I don't understand why people get up in arms about, not being able to go to college or whatever. Like, there's a lot of options for people. It's like, well, you don't really know what their real situation is. And it's true that they just can't go to college.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think that the thing that you touched on in there, that was what I was trying to get at. Like, I'm going to need to listen to what I said after what you said.
Oh, no.
What you said was you need to give them an environment for them to feel comfortable to talk, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's my point. Like, the point that I'm getting at is I've realized when it comes to politics, it's very similar to religion. You have an opinion.
Yeah.
You have a feeling about what that other side must think, what they must feel. And you assume that because they feel differently than you, that they don't want to hear your point of view.
Yeah.
Or you feel like if they disagree with your point of view, that they're like attacking you personally.
Yeah.
And I think until we get to a point where we can go, hey, you know what? I don't agree with what you're saying. I don't know. I mean, there are some people that are racist that you don't know why they're racist. Now, I'm not saying that there's any excuse for it, but maybe somebody's racist because they grew up in an environment where they were surrounded with one group of people that treated them badly. Or maybe they got beat up by a specific group of people. I mean, I know the joke is that people like to joke around that black people can't be racist, but black people that are racist against white people are that way for a reason. Like, if they grew up feeling like they weren't given the same opportunities as white people or were treated badly by white people for being black, then that's a reason that they feel that way.
Yeah.
Now, whether or not they are correct in lumping all white people in together, there's a reason they feel that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
The difficult part is sitting down and going, hey, I want you to understand that I respect you. I want to get to know you. I want to understand your point of view because it's not my point of view. Let's have a conversation. It's really difficult these days. And as Jeff's saying, if you're in a work environment, it's even harder because you're trying to balance professionalism and common respect in the workplace with a very, very, volatile conversation.
Yeah.
Where somebody at work needs to feel safe at work. We joke about quote unquote safe spaces, but work really should be one.
Right.
When you go to work, if you feel like, hey, I can't really be who I am because people are going to blah, 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 that's something that we need to work towards. And we're in a point right now where everybody likes to pat themselves on the back for their ability to like understand each other, but they only really want to do that for people that it's easy for them to understand. They don't want to do it for people that they struggle to understand. Right.
And I think the dangerous thing that people do, whether towards people that they don't understand or they can't relate to or empathize with, whether it be like racist people or minorities or just anyone that they aren't, that they don't understand. There are parts of those people that they don't know about. Like they don't understand. They don't know why they would be racist, or they don't know how minorities are treated differently. Yeah. So what they do is they fill in those spaces that they don't know with what they do know.
Yeah.
Or what they can just like presume or
what they heard on TV.
Right. So they like however they were raised is going to be how it's going to affect how they perceive those people. So if they were raised to think that every racist person is a Nazi.
Yeah.
And that's a absolute truth.
Yeah.
Then they're going to think like the people marching on Charlottesville are Nazis.
Yeah.
Like, and if
they can't differentiate that between actual German SS soldiers.
Right. And if those people in Charlottesville were raised by people who said that every minority is like lesser than, then that's what they're going to believe.
Yeah.
And they're going to have to, there has to be tough conversations to like have them face that reality that how they perceive the world and how they perceive other people is really dependent on how they've grown up and the people they've their parents or the people that they've spent their time around.
Yeah, and one of the things that
it's hard to shift that in your mind.
Well, and this is the thing
it's shifting your entire perspective.
Well, I think we've talked about
core
this.
Beliefs.
Yeah, core beliefs, exactly. It's made up. It's the pillars for what your body and your soul stand on. As cheesy as that sounds,
right?
We talked about this in a podcast way back. One of the things that as I grew older, I realized was the difference between perception and reality. Now, I grew up in a household where my father tried to tell us that perception is reality. Perception is reality. Perception is reality. That's what I heard my entire childhood. And when I got older, I started thinking about it and I said, well, no, perception is your own personal reality. Of course, it's going to feel like reality to you, but that doesn't mean that's what it is. And right now, that's, I think, one of the biggest things facing our country and our society as a whole is we assume that our perception on things is the reality.
Yes.
And we have so many people telling us that, not us. People tell each other that what you feel is valid. Now, what that is in itself is true. Like, what your feelings are valid, but you need to be introspective enough to understand that your feelings may not be real. They may not be actual reality. So as Jeff said, looking and going, well, there's plenty of options for school. There's plenty of options for this. For him, that's reality. But for someone else going, hey, no, man, I've tried. Like, these things have not worked for me.
Yeah.
I can't get approved. Jeff has to take that and go, oh, shit. Maybe my perception wasn't actual reality.
Right.
It was what I thought it was. Right. And holy shit, I may need to change the way I view the world now.
Right. And it's very difficult to make that leap.
It's terrifying.
If you haven't done it in the past, like, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how you do really before you even like become an adult, like before you become mature enough to make that like jump.
Yeah. Oh, I think the biggest thing that people have to understand is like you have to emotionally disconnect from those situations, and that helps you kind of take that step back and look at like, okay, well, like what are the objectives and what are the ways to get there? And once you kind of emotionally disconnect, you can look at that and, pragmatically build a path for you to get there, or your team or your culture or whatever, right? Like everybody would have to do that, and it's hard to do, especially when you're talking about things like racism or
Birkenstocks.
Birkenstocks.
It's
like discrimination
my perception
or whatever,
is that
right?
they're very ugly. I feel that that's reality.
Well, it's hard to do that, and it's also very easy not to do it. So I mean that's what seems to be happening with a lot of younger like people my generation or than just younger people is they're finding things that are easy not to do and they're just not doing them. Like you
accept what your peers as truth, and then you use confirmation bias to basically reinforce what you've accepted as truth, and that becomes just the way it is for you in your life.
Well, that's the thing is we tend to surround ourselves with people that feel the same way that we do, so that there's no one ever challenging our views.
Oh yeah.
And that's one of the things that
echo chambers.
Not to pat myself on the back here, but I like this. I don't know. I like to surround myself with people that feel differently than I do, because I like to debate. I know it's a very weird thing. Most people don't like to debate. They don't like to argue. I don't mind it. Like, I enjoy seeing a different point of view, and people go, like, for example, Gary, you and I, like, we've clashed over the years on different things, and we've argued. And as you've gotten older and as we've gotten to know each other, we've been able to respect each other and go, oh, he's not actually shitting on my point of view. He's not actually trying to convince me to think his way. He's trying to get me to understand his point of view, which is really hard to do. Like, there's that wall that we put up immediately where it's like, well, this person's questioning my thought process. Fuck you. And Jeff and I have been doing this for fucking 15 years where it's like, hey, I know Jeff respects me enough that what may feel like him trying to get me to change what I think, by him doing that, it's stretching my comfort zone. It's breaking down walls and going, oh shit, I didn't even think about it that way.
Yeah.
But taking the time to look at yourself and go, well, fuck, I really need to start like trying that is not something people want to do because it's difficult.
And it's also just like if you've been if that's what you've done for a long time, then you're comfortable with it. But if you never do that, if you always surround yourself with people who agree with you, then it's when one day someone doesn't, then it's really hard to. You don't have like the appropriate tools.
It's like to
deal with it.
It's like an infection entering your body. Like all your blood cells are going, this is a foreign thing. Fuck you.
Your immune system isn't used to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not like debate class where you're just trying to win an argument. Like coming back to like what you said earlier about just the fact that, we need to have a conversation. It's not that we need to have a conversation. We need to have a healthy conversation where both sides are open to debate and like counterpoints.
And not just to reinforce their own views by defending themselves.
Right. It's not like having a conversation isn't just another way to say, I just need to educate you or whatever.
Oh,
right?
God,
like,
that fucking sentence. Let me educate you. Maybe you're just not as enlightened as I am. Bringing it back to being full of shit.
So, yeah, we started with talking about
if being enlightened means I'm wearing Birkenstocks, I have dreadlocks, and I'm praying to a tree, then I'm okay being dumb as dirt.
Going back to circling all the way back around to people being full of shit, which I guess we've kind of been talking about the whole time. But there's also like we were talking about what people like wear and like when people go to the gym and stuff like that and dieting, but it's also like when people like do things like they go on experiences to say that they've done them, like when people go hiking, not to like hike and enjoy nature, but to get like a selfie on the hike. Like,
dude, what if you went somewhere and did something and you didn't take your phone?
Right?
Yeah.
Turn your goddamn phone off.
Especially hiking, or like we live in Washington. People go like there are hiking groups and people go hiking all the time.
Yeah,
I want to do that more. To be frank, because I don't think I have enough. But
and then we could bring some of that prepackaged food that you were dreaming about. Freeze dried dog biscuits.
What that doesn't sound appetizing. Also, like another example that comes to mind is Burning Man.
No. Hold on. I want to touch on that. The fucking phone in the woods on the yes.
Okay.
If I go on a fucking hike to escape the noise, the hustle and bustle, and I get up there and you're using a goddamn iPad to take a panorama shot, I immediately fucking hate you.
Remember where were we? We were
I remember.
We were in Sequoia, in Kings Canyon, and we went into we went on a cave tour.
Yep.
The cave.
Yep.
And there was a woman who was probably her late 40s, maybe her mid 40s. And she had an iPad.
And she was filming it.
That she was taking pictures and videos with.
Yeah.
An iPad.
Yeah.
Oh, and she had a Starbucks cup in her other hand. And I was like,
my God.
First of all, where did you get a Starbucks cup in the middle of fucking Kings Canyon?
See, and in that moment,
that's like the exact reason why I think they should just shut down access to all the national parks and do like lotteries for people. They're so overrun with idiot people that get killed by bison.
Right. And in that moment, I understood why people sometimes look and hate white people. You sandal wearing, Starbucks cup carrying, iPad picture taking white lady. What the
fuck? Well, so so I was gonna say Burning Man is a place where like from what I understand, people don't take their phones to that, and they actually do like try to live.
How would you get a selfie at Burning Man if you didn't take your phone?
That's at least my perception of it.
Your perception is wrong.
I mean, they may not have self-service, but
yeah, maybe that's it.
They're definitely taking pictures because that's what fills the internet after Burning Man.
Yeah, and how did they get the video of the guy running into the fire to kill himself? It was with someone's camera.
Well, I'm kind of conflicted about that because I'm conflicted about Burning Man. Because I think that there are people who go there and get like a spiritual like.
No. Dude, it's such a fucking money pit now.
Oh no,
It's
of
just
course,
a bunch of it's just a bunch of rich assholes from Bay Area and Silicon Valley that go up there and build like $20,000-$30,000 campsites.
Yep. Yeah, no,
you read that. You read that
it
thing
is.
too about those people with the giant RVs, and they basically take them out there, and they're like $300,000 RVs that they drive
Yeah.
out there, and they're not roughing it at all. Like
But
they have
that's
air
not-
conditioning
that's
and
not
they have running
everyone
water.
there.
No, but that's the point. Is more of that is happening now
Yeah.
than it used to be. It used to be
Yeah.
a bunch of hippies out in the desert, and now it's people that want to say they did it. Oh, I went out there when I was 50 and took my RV and had some LSD and I saw the world, man.
That's what I'm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about,
Yeah.
and that's what I was talking about before. Like
Yeah.
when you, there's a difference between like wanting to look good and wanting to like.
Experience something?
Well, yeah. So
Yeah.
it's like people might go there like to either like have a fun experience and actually like learn something from it, make friends, blah blah blah. But then there are people who go there just to say they went there.
Yeah.
And it's like what. It must. I can't imagine how frustrating it would be for the people who have gone there like since it's like its
Existence?
inception,
Yeah.
and they're starting to see like the people. I didn't know that people
Yeah.
take RVs there.
Dude.
What the fuck is the point if you're taking an
Yeah.
RV?
To say you went. It's the
That's
thing
like
you're mad
basically
about.
like putting an apartment in the middle of like a
Yes!
campsite. Like
Yes!
fuck.
100%
That
that.
completely defeats the purpose. Yeah, now I'm really angry about that. So yeah, I mean, people are full of shit. It's like the world is full of people full of shit. At least America is. It's really annoying.
You know who else is full of shit?
Who's that?
Vain
Oh
and-
yeah, right, Jeff. We're all full of
Yeah.
shit.
Let's shit in
Yeah.
the discs
Nah.
and send them to
Yeah.
Carlos.
So are they like hockey
end.
pucks?
Yeah,
hockey
Or are they like frisbees?
they're no. Jeff is right. They're
Yeah.
basically hockey pucks. I imagine them as like hockey pucks with like little labels around them that like say what they are.
Like Copenhagen, like dip cups. Like
I'm gonna have to. You know what I'm gonna have to do? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna pull up Illustrator and I'm gonna
different
make
shit.
a label for one of these. And I'm gonna tweet
Oh,
it.
Gary's
jeez.
caca.
Like shit disc directions. Shit in the disc.
And then you're gonna put on there Gary's on a strict pedo diet.
Thank you for listening to episode 25 of the Unreasonably Angry podcast. If you like what you heard, please rate and review us on Facebook, iTunes, or wherever else you can do that. I'm not entirely sure where that is, but we like to hear what you think, and we want other people to hear what you think.
All right, and if you'd like to tell us that we're full of shit, feel free to do so. We know we are. You can tell us on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram. You can shoot us an email to unreasonablyangrypodcast@gmail.com. And until next time, my name is Eric.
And I'm Gary.
This is Jeff.
Stay angry, fuckers.